Hi, my name is Rebekah Norman, and I am 38 years old. Um, I live in Richland, Washington, which is in the eastern part of Washington. Um, let's see, I am a mom of three kids, and uh, I have two daughters and a son. All of my children, myself and my husband, we all do jujitsu, and we love it. So, this is my video for application for scholarship. So, one of the questions is, how can the scholarship benefit me and why should I be awarded this scholarship? So, to answer both of those questions in one, I guess with one answer is, so last year, I want to say it was about November time, we had the goal, my oldest daughter, and I both had the goal to compete at a tournament called the Revolution. And we had made the plans, I had booked the hotel, and everything was going on. Unfortunately, we were not able to compete because, just to give you a little backstory, a few years ago, after my husband and I, well, my family and I had started jujitsu, my husband was diagnosed with brain cancer. And that's just something that's kind of been a normal part of our life for the last, let's see, 2.5 years, maybe almost 3 years. And well, this last summer, due to a series, I guess, of unfortunate events, my husband had to switch jobs. And in doing so, he got a new job in August, and because of his medical expenses, both for cancer treatments and to maintain and treat his epilepsy, which he incurred because of brain surgery, and because he had gotten a new job in August, and we had a medical deductible that we had to meet before the end of the new year, which is a few $1,000s out of pocket, and we had a really high deductible. Anyway, we figured out that doing the tournament, which anytime we have to go to a tournament, we have to go to the west side of the state. So it involves travel for gas, food, lodging, things like that. So it ended up it was like either we don't do the tournament, so that we can get like winter clothes for my kids, or we go to the tournament and then kind of try to just deal with whatever, things like, it was just kind of like that. So we weren't able to go compete in the tournament. My daughter, who is 10, she was very heartbroken. She and I both were heartbroken because we had been looking forward to competing for a while. I've been doing jiu-jitsu for about 3 years, my daughter 3.5, coming up on 4. And so anyhow, I said to her, you know what, the next tournament that we go to for this organization, we're going to make sure that we definitely go. So we made the plans and we were excited. We drew out goals. We talked to coaches. And unfortunately, in December, when my husband did a scan, his MRI showed that his cancer was growing back. Well, it actually was never gone, but a lot of it was taken out for his brain surgery, but they were showing growth in what was left there. So this January, we had to start radiation and chemo. Well, the tournament is actually in a few weeks, beginning of March. And I was just really excited about the opportunity to go and compete. And I have 4 stripes on my white belt, so I thought, maybe this would be an opportunity to compete as a white belt before I, get promoted next time, just because we can't afford to go compete a lot. Because like I said, there's so much involved with competing, with traveling, with a family. There's 6 of us, and anyhow. So I was very excited to go, and my daughter and I were both excited to go. And then my husband approached me And, he just said, is it really cost feasible with the cost of chemo and radiation to go and pay all of this for the tournament? And I knew that that was going to be a conversation we'd have to have. And I just kind of turned a blind eye to the realization of that until he finally approached me and I said, you know what, you're right. It just really isn't very feasible to do this. So I talked with our coaches and I let them know, and they knew about the excitement that my daughter and I had to go and compete. And so they're trying to help us with the cost of lodging. And so I told them that I would submit a scholarship to the Girls and Geese organization to see if you guys would help us with the cost of tournament fees. So that is why I'm doing this, because I am hoping that we can get your support, and we would really appreciate that. So my goals in jiu-jitsu, I've been doing jiu-jitsu for, like I said, 3 years now. And it's interesting to see how over the course of those 3 years, my goals have changed from one thing to another. Currently, the realization as I go to class and train, my goal in jiu-jitsu is just to better myself, to be like a really good representation to those that are new to jiu-jitsu in reality. I'm not a heavily competitive I'm not an aggressively competitive person, so going and competing has never really been huge on my to-do list, or it has never been a priority. But as I continue to train and be an example to my daughter, who is a little more aggressively competitive, I feel like this is something that I really want to do. But ultimately, my goal in jiu-jitsu is to become well-rounded in the sport, to be proud of myself, actually. So that's just kind of some of my jiu-jitsu goals. How will I represent Girls and Geese? So over the course of the few years, I've actually been to a few Girls and Geese event, both by myself and with my daughters. I'm absolutely astounded by what you guys are doing for women and women and girls, so females in jiu-jitsu. I absolutely just adore the mission of Girls and Geese, and I feel that the best way that I can represent the organization, besides wearing the patches on my gi and wearing the swag that I get whenever I go to the event and buy stuff, I feel like the best way that I can represent this organization is to be encouraging and uplifting, welcoming to both girls and women. Anytime we go anywhere in jiu-jitsu, we have a women's program in our gym, which I absolutely love. And in fact, when I found out that you guys did scholarships, there was a gal there who said, well, she did women's defense, self-defense, but she said, well, I want to try jiu-jitsu, but I just don't have the money for the tuition right now. And I told her, actually, there's an organization called Girls and Geese, and you can apply for tuition scholarship. And so I really encouraged her to take that avenue because it just really seemed like something she wanted to try. So I hope that through my example with my behavior and that I can show that Girls and Geese is an incredible program, and eventually someday I would love to be an ambassador. So that's kind of my Girls and Geese goal, I guess. And just, I don't know, be an outlet and like some kind of beacon within the program and help, grow grow the ladies programs, here in this area, because it is lacking, but I have a lot of high hopes for it. And I want to say that I'm extremely grateful for this program. So thank you.